Hello everyone, welcome to a new Secret Pathway to Power interview. We are here with Oana Leu. She's a project manager at Transelectrica and she's responsible for one of the most innovative projects currently underway in the Romanian transmission system. But I'll let Oana talk more about that. Hello Oana, thank you for accepting our invitation.
Hi Radu, thank you for having me.
Firstly, tell us what is your journey as an engineer so far and what is your role at Transelectrica?
Yeah, sure. So my journey started in my third year of studies when I was the recipient of a scholarship from Transelectrica. And this meant that at the end of my studies, I would get an opportunity to work there.
Okay.
So in 2017, I started working as an engineer. And while throughout the years I had different activities in the company, I was always involved in the research and innovation activities. And at the moment, I work as a project manager in the research and innovation department.
I'm very glad to hear about the existence of a research and development department at Transelectrica because nowadays the energy sector is very dynamic. New technologies constantly appear, and I think that is very useful to have someone, to break the ice in the technology, to test the feasibility of new projects, and to be an example for the entire sector. Can you tell us more about what kind of projects do you develop at the R&D department?
Yeah, sure. So we are a rather small group of people. There's just 9 of us in the research innovation department.
Okay.
And our activities vary from, first of all, developing and managing the portfolio of digitalization projects of the company. And these projects include, for example, building the first digital substation in Alba Iulia, building the first digital and green substation in Mostiștea by replacing the SF6 gas in equipment with other environmental friendly gases, or implementing different technologies such as virtual reality, augmented reality, dynamic light rating, in order to provide support for our operational staff. We are also involved in different European projects alongside other TSOs around Europe.
Okay.
And we are also focused on collaborating with different solution providers in the energy sector and also with the academia in order to test and implement this kind of solutions in the power transmission grid.
Okay. I'm aware that large-scale projects like the ones developed by Transelectrica last for many years because of many reasons: environmental, political reasons, public acquisitions, expropriations, and so on. So what are the challenges faced by project managers when developing such large-scale projects?
Yeah, so what you said is true. My experience as a project manager isn't too long, so I can't say that I have been faced with as many challenges as my more experienced colleagues.
Okay.
But what I can say is that Transelectrica, as a major state-owned company, has to abide to many legislative constraints.
Sure.
And that, of course, includes the process of public acquisitions, as you
Yes.
mentioned. So from the moment when you have all your documentation ready for the acquisition and until you have your contract signed, it can take 6 or even 8 months.
Okay.
So that is a lot of
Yes.
time. And this happens for all major infrastructure projects, not just for Transelectrica. And this is why we always hear about delays in a project timeline.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah. There is also the situation right now in the energy sector where there is a lack of designer or constructor companies which are able and are interested in carrying out a project of such a large scale as Transelectrica's projects. Of course, for major infrastructures such as the overhead lines, there are a lot of permits or authorizations that need to be obtained from different authorities, and that, of course, can take a lot of time, as you mentioned. So yeah, I would say the challenges are varied, and it can be frustrating at times. But in my opinion, being involved in projects that have such a big impact at the national level, it kind of makes up for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oana, you are the project manager of the Dynamic Line Rating project. As I said, one of the most innovative projects currently underway in the Romanian transmission system. So can you give us some insights about this new technology and how could it improve the electricity transmission?
Yeah, sure. So at the moment, I am managing two projects in Transelectrica, one of which is indeed involving dynamic line rating.
Yes.
So this is a large-scale project, and it involves installing online monitoring system on 23 400 kV overhead lines. And these are all very important lines for the system, and they include all of our interconnection lines with the neighboring countries.
Okay.
And yeah, while having real-time data about the lines can be helpful for maintenance activities or for determining the technical condition of the lines. A big benefit of installing these online monitoring systems is the dynamic line rating concept of, or DLR, as it is called. So DLR is basically an algorithm that by using real-time data regarding both line parameters as well as and especially weather conditions, is able to increase the capacity on the overhead lines in order to be able to transport more energy on them. This is possible because in the current way that we operate the system, we are using what is called a static rating, which means that we are determining the rating of the lines by using weather data that is safe to use throughout the entire year, or at most throughout a season, or winter or summer.
Yes.
And if we are using real-time data, we are able to, let's say, if the wind speed is high and the temperature is low, factors that allow the conductors to cool off, we are able to increase the energy that is transported on them. And this is especially useful in areas with high wind production, where there are a lot of wind turbines. And of course, if the wind speed is high, the energy production is high. And by installing monitoring systems and by using DLR, we are also increasing the capacity of the lines in order to evacuate that high energy production.
It is really an interesting project. I wish you success in implementing it. But you mentioned two projects. What can you tell us about the other one?
Yeah, so the other one is a rather new project. It's a very exciting one. It's still in early stages, but it's a project that will have a strong impact on the transmission grid. It is regarding the replacement of the existing 400 kV overhead line Isac-Tulcea West, which is a simple circuit line, with a new double circuit line. And the innovative aspect is the fact that we will be using, for the first time in the Romanian transmission grid, tubular towers. All of our overhead lines are built using classic lattice towers, which of course have great benefits since we have been using them for such a long period of time. But more and more we are seeing the appearance of tubular towers, both at a distribution level and at a transmission level. And we felt like it was the time to implement this in Transelectrica as well. These towers come with a series of benefits compared to lattice towers, both at the technical level and at a social level. First of all, they have a much smaller footprint than lattice towers, and this is of course important since obtaining the land for towers can be quite difficult and time-consuming.
Yes, it is.
They are also easier to install, and they require less maintenance compared to lattice towers. And the social impact is, of course, the fact that they are slimmer, they are prettier, let's say, and easier on the eye for the population, since, as we know, the population can be a bit disturbed by the fact that there are there's such a big number of overhead lines. This is a project for which we have obtained European funding, and this is also the case for the previous project that I talked about.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, it will be a challenge to implement this project, and especially to develop a new set of towers, so different from the ones that we are used to implement in Transelectrica. But it's a very exciting project, and I'm very curious to see how it will turn out in the end.
I'm very excited too. I'm wondering, what do you think about the digital transformation and its role for the energy transition?
Yeah, so I would say that all digital technologies in all areas, not just in the energy sector, are meant to improve our activities and a lot of times to make them easier to perform. This is also true for the energy sector.
Yes.
We are faced with a aging power grid.
Yes.
And this is the case for a lot of countries, not just for us. The appearance at such a fast pace of renewable energy sources has taken a toll on our power grid, and it takes a lot of time to be able to adapt it to the new operational needs. As such, digital technologies such as dynamic line rating, of which I previously discussed, can help us to better operate our already existing infrastructure.
Okay.
As we know, building new overhead lines, for example, is costly and it takes a lot of time. And so implementing such technologies, which are, of course, cheaper and faster to use, can come as a great benefit. There is also, of course, the monitoring of different assets, not just of overhead lines, which can help us get a greater insight into their technical condition and which can help the operator to better plan their maintenance or the necessary investments in order to ensure the safety and security of power supply. There are also, let's say, more abstract technologies such as virtual reality or augmented reality that also have the role to help us to better operate our assets and to ease the work of our operational staff.
Yes.
So I would say that all digital technologies are very useful. They come with great benefits. We just have to be ready to implement them. This, of course, can be challenging sometimes, especially when we are talking about an infrastructure that is as critical as the power grid. But the future is digital, I would say, and we are doing our best in Transelectrica to be in line with that.
That's great to hear that.
Yeah.
Oana, thank you so much for this very interesting discussion, and I wish you success in all your following projects.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you too for watching this interview. Stay tuned with our activity at SIGRE. Don't forget to subscribe and see you next time. Bye.